What's up, you guys? Chase the Dark Sager, and today we're back with another video. And I know I haven't uploaded in a long time, but today here's an upload for you guys. Today I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the horror movies I've actually been enjoying this year. This year has been a really great year for horror movies. Now, if you guys are new to my content, or if you're new to who I am personally, I love horror movies. Horror movies is like my favorite genre. Like, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Child's Play. Anything when it comes to supernatural horror, I'm usually like there. Like, I love the horror movies where there's an actual like iconic figure. But before we actually get into this video and actually talk about some of the horror movies I've actually enjoyed this year, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm not going to promise you that there's going to be consistent uploads on this channel. This channel is usually just for fun. Like, it's here for me to just talk about anything else besides anime and manga. Don't expect consistent uploads here. If you come to this channel and you supporting it, then, you know, I highly appreciate that. But make sure you hit this video with a like if you are viewing this. All my links will be in the description down below in terms of all my social medias. So let's go ahead and get into it. First movie I want to talk about is Nope, starring Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, directed by Jordan Peele. And this movie right here, I really enjoyed this. All these movies I've seen on this list, I've seen with my girlfriend, and she kind of enjoyed Nope as well. When it comes to Jordan Peele's sense of horror, I gotta say that I really enjoy what he's come out with. I enjoyed Get Out. I enjoyed Us, even though I think it's the weakest of all three of the movies that he's came out with. Not saying that it's bad, but I'm saying if I had to rank them, Us would be at the bottom because the logic at the end kind of starts to unravel things. If you start actually applying the logic, it just doesn't work out. And establishing logic within a horror movie can either be good or bad. And so that's where Us went wrong to me. But when it comes to Nope, I will say that the whole spectacle of the UFO itself being the alien was fantastic. It was definitely something out of left field. And while this movie didn't feel like a conventional horror movie, the sci-fi thriller elements that Jordan Peele does give to us, kind of like how people compare it to Jaws, even though I've never seen Jaws, I do understand how some people can be afraid to look up in the sky and see something that just looks very peculiar, because some of the imagery in this movie kind of creeps you out and kind of disturbs you, especially with the whole UFO alien thing actually eating and swallowing the people. I was like, hey, yo, I did not expect to see this in this movie, but I'm all here for it, especially when the alien throws up basically and kills the main character's father at the beginning of the movie and starts to attack their house later on in the movie while he's throwing up, and throws up that actual fake horse that they tried to feed him and fake out. And I do love the fact of the monkey and the UFO and the horse all having similarities and parallels, seeing that they're all wild creatures that shouldn't be tamed, but people are trying to exploit them for money, essentially. So I do like that parallel that they try to establish in the movie. The monkey thing was a bit confusing on first watch, but I knew it had some type of deeper meaning coming out of the movie, so I had to watch a few YouTube videos to get it. But honestly, after I got the explanation, my enjoyment factor went up. I do feel like the monkey is a bit useless. Like, if you take that out the movie, it could have been actually shorter and a tighter film, but you know, I'm not too mad at that. Next two movies I want to talk about, and the reason I'm talking about two movies in this one section right here, has to be A24's X and Pearl. Now, me and my girl, we didn't see X earlier this year, but we did see a trailer for Pearl, and I was very interested in it, especially with this being a prequel to a movie that I wanted to see already during this year. So this definitely made me rent X off of Amazon Prime. And after watching X, it has that old school slasher horror vibe that I really enjoyed. I really did like it. I just hate when they sometimes base it in Texas, because I live in Texas. So sometimes I gotta be wary of my situations, but this did happen in the early 1900s. So I think I'm pretty cool with the situation. But with X, it kind of brings back those throwback slasher vibes that I really enjoy. And it brings back some of these character tropes. But I will say that these characters in this movie actually feel like real people and not just fodder for the villains to kill. Now, I do like when the villains do get to control all deleting the characters, but I will say that these characters' motivations, I understand where they're coming from. The characterization was pretty good with this movie. I really like the setting as well, so I have no complaints in that department. And with Pearl coming out right after that, man, I really enjoyed Pearl, especially the fact of it being kind of like the opposite of X, where all the killing happens at night, while all the killing in Pearl mostly happens during the daytime. So to see some horrific events happening during the day really tripped me out, and to see where the character Pearl actually originates from and where her craziness comes from, and then you see X, a whole bunch of things in X actually make sense after watching Pearl. And I will say that Pearl actually elevated my X watching experience once I got the movie Pearl, and I was like, oh, I see this throwback, I get this throwback, I remember this happening in Pearl. So I really did enjoy Pearl. I enjoyed the acting out of both movies. Kid Cudi, I was very weary on in X, but I will say that he definitely surprised me when it came to X. And the actor that plays Pearl and the main girl, I believe her name is Marlene or Marlise. I forgot what her name is in the actual first movie, X. She plays Pearl in the second movie as well, and she does a great job. She does a great job at establishing both of those characters, them both having some type of parallel with each other, but them being two different people themselves. So I really did enjoy A24's X and Pearl. I can't see what they have up next with the trilogy that they're kind of forming right now. And last movie I want to talk about is Barbarian. Now, this movie right here was definitely out of the blue. I remember seeing trailers of this on Twitter, and whenever I saw these trailers, all I saw was the crowd's reaction to the movie itself. And I loved that marketing for Barbarian because it did not give anything away about it. When me and my girl go to the movies, she was asking me what the movie was about, and I was telling her, I don't know. The trailer didn't give me anything about this movie. And I loved the mystery aspect that the trailers kind of gave me, because all I saw was people's reactions. I was like, oh, this gotta be good. And when I went to the movie, and after I got out that movie, oh, it was good. Now, I'm not gonna say that's gonna blow your socks off or anything, or like it's such a great found piece of art within the horror genre. Like, it's a great horror movie, I will say that, but it's not like the one thing that's just going to revolutionize horror all around. It's a slasher movie to some extent, or some type of weird horror thriller mystery type thing. Either way, with Barbarian, I didn't know what I was going to get coming out of that movie, but I will say this: I will not go out of state to apply for a job and get an Airbnb. And if I do, and if I already see someone's in there, I will sleep in my car. I will not be in that house. And if you're in an Airbnb, and this is some non-people of color action, don't go into places you shouldn't be going, aka the basement. And if you see that there's more room stemming from the basement, you definitely shouldn't go in there. And if you see a hidden camera with a nasty looking bed in a room that's in that hidden area, what are you doing? Either way, I want to say that this was a great year for horror movies. I've been enjoying myself so much. I've been loving going to the movies this year. I implore all you guys to go ahead and buy these things when they come out on home release. I even got the Nope Steelbook pre-order from Best Buy. But man, I just want to talk about some horror movies. I just wanted to share my excitement and my passion for horror movies. Hopefully when Hellraiser comes out, maybe I'll come out with a review for it. Maybe. Not gonna promise it or guarantee it, but maybe I will. But if you are new to the channel, you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and don't forget to share the content if you have another horror fan friend that you want to get them into this hype that I'm talking about right now. I definitely can't wait for Halloween Ends, even though I'm a bit worried about it, and I can't wait for the newest Scream movie. Those are some of my anticipated watches for horror movies. I don't know what else is coming out this month in October, but whatever is coming out, I'm very open to seeing it. Oh, and I still need to go see Smile. Hopefully it's good. I've heard some very mixed reviews on it, and I do like I like a horror movie with some jump scares. I don't want it to be a jump scare fest, but I've heard that Smile is a jump scare fest. But if it's done in the right way, then I'm cool with that. Thank you guys for watching. Dark Sage out. Peace.